Merry Vlogmas. Hey guys, it's Kayla.
And I'm Mark Allen.
And this is our channel. Normally we talk about all things Disney, but this month we are mixing it up a little bit and we are doing Vlogmas. That means we're uploading a new video every single day this month, so make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our fun videos. What are we talking about today?
Spending time with family. I grew up in Illinois and then I lived in Arizona for a little while. Now, obviously we live in Kansas. So when I was living in Arizona, I was living with my mom there, but most of my family was back in Illinois. So during the holidays, I would always fly from Arizona to Illinois. I would fly into Chicago. And I just have so many fond memories about flying. For example, the first time I had ever flown on an airplane, I was flying by myself. I was in 6th grade. And the flight that I was going on from Phoenix to Chicago, the same flight a week before skidded off the runway at Midway in Chicago. And I was flying a week later, like the exact same flight number, flight time, everything like that. And so yeah, I was just like terrified because I was like, oh my gosh. And then Chicago just got another really bad ice storm like the day before I was getting ready to fly. So I was like, great. First time I'd ever flown by myself. And yeah, that was just terrifying. But no, I just have so many fond memories because my family lives on the opposite side of the state in Illinois. So it was like a 3-hour, so I have like a 3-hour flight and then a 3-hour drive from Chicago to where my family lives. So it was just such a long travel day, but just the road trips. And we would always go to Cracker Barrel when we landed.
He loves Cracker Barrel.
I do love Cracker Barrel.
Like, Cracker Barrel's okay, but he like loves Cracker Barrel.
I also just love breakfast food.
You've literally asked to go to Cracker Barrel 4 times this week. 4 times!
And we haven't gone! That's why I've asked 4 times.
Anyway, so one of my favorite Christmas memories, when we were little, we don't do this as much anymore because we're older, but I know when we were little, my grandparents would always pack us up in the car and we would go drive around, and there's a few places kind of where we live where they have these huge Christmas light displays, and you can drive through in your car and just see the Christmas lights. And they would always have people at the end because it was always like for charity stuff, and so you could give the donations. And but I remember we'd drive up to them and you roll down your window and then they gave you candy canes, and as a little kid, like, you were so excited to get the candy canes, and then they, like, you could go and meet Santa and do all of that stuff. But I just remember, like, I always love Christmas lights and driving around and looking at Christmas lights. That's always just a fun memory that we always used to do, like, with our cousins and my grandparents, and we'd literally just pack into the car and we'd go.
Another one of my favorite memories was when I still lived in Illinois when I was a lot younger. My cousins would always come in from out of town, and there was one year in particular that my cousins got a GameCube for Christmas. This is just telling you how long ago this was. And I was so excited because I was like, I want a GameCube for Christmas, and my cousins got one. But I think like a couple of years later, we ended up buying one for Black Friday or something. So we did eventually get one, my family. But I remember, like, we would...
What game did you play?
I think it was probably like Zelda or something, honestly.
Zelda.
Probably. I don't even remember. More than likely. Or it was like Mario Kart, or I don't even remember. That was so long ago. But no, I just remember we were like sitting in my grandparents' living room and we would just play that stinking GameCube like all day. And then we would stop and take a break for Christmas dinner. And then we went right back to the GameCube.
Another one of my memories, we would do this every year when we were little, me and my brother. We didn't ever really do like milk and cookies for Santa, but we would always make Jesus a birthday cake. And those cakes were the most disgusting cake ever because, well, my mom would make the cake and then she would frost it and then let us decorate it. Well, when you're a small child, you want to put as many sprinkles and things onto this cake as possible. And so mom would always let me write "Happy Birthday Jesus" with the little pipette thing, and then me and my brother would just go to town with those sprinkles. And I'm telling you, this cake was just like coated. It was so gross. And so
did your parents have to eat the cake?
Well, we would always leave a slice out. And so they would for Santa. And so there was always some missing, but then like we would eat some of it. And I remember it was really gross. Cuz I mean, sprinkles are okay, but I'm not a huge sprinkles fan anyway. But when it was literally just coated in sprinkles, it was so gross.
So as I mentioned earlier, my cousins would always come in from out of town, and we didn't see them very often, but my aunt and uncle and my cousins, they're always just so fun to be around. And when I was younger, my one of my cousins was always just like the big like prankster, kind of just like goofball. Well, kind of a backstory. So every year for Christmas, my grandma would always make Crystal Light, which if you've never had that, it's basically like, it's kind of like Kool-Aid, kind of, but it was always sugar.
Kool-Aid for adults.
Yeah, it's like sugar-free, yeah. But we always made it like super sugary, and we would drink this stuff like it was water, us kids. And there was one year in particular where we were sitting at the kids' table at my grandma's, and my cousin decided that they were gonna put ketchup in my Crystal Light because it's basically the same color, and they like mixed it up. And I took a drink and I was like, this tastes
ew
odd. And it was like a lot of ketchup.
Ew.
But yeah, I like took a couple swigs of it before I realized like
gross.
What, like that something was clearly wrong with my Crystal Light. So
poor baby Alan.
Yeah, that's weird that you call me that. I grew up going by Alan, in case you didn't know that.
It's always really funny to me because like his family, whenever they like call him by name, they always call him Alan, and I'm always like,
it's kind of weird for me
to
hear
that
too.
Because that's not what I call him. And I mean, you guys know this is Mark Allen.
Yeah.
So anyways, sidetrack. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I have an aunt. Well, she's my great aunt, and so she's very old, and you know, older people can be a little interesting. But every year we always like to get sparkling grape juice. It's just kind of a fun tradition that we always do, and she thinks that it's like real wine or something. And so as she'll start drinking it, she starts to get a little more and more loopy, and it is the funniest thing. Like she really, like, I remember I remember one year specifically, she just was going crazy, and she took the whole bottle of sparkling grape juice and was chugging it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And oh, it's so funny. And then she'll go and like, she'll just go and like crash in one of the bedrooms.
Yep.
It's so funny, like, because it does not have any alcohol. It is literally grape juice, but you know, it's fine. Yep. It's always our favorite running joke that we have in our family.
So in our Christmas smells video, Kayla talked about gingerbread like cookie ornaments. Well, we also did something like that in my family, where my aunt made a bunch of these like gingerbread cookies and gave them to all of us for Christmas presents one year. But I did not realize that they were Christmas like ornaments, basically, because they had like enamel or like something on them to basically like preserve them. Oh. And I was probably like,
is that why they're so hard?
Yeah. Oh. Well, because it preserves the cookie, basically.
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't really know like how they're made, but they have like a gloss or something on them to like protect them. But anyway, I was probably like 4 or 5 maybe when my aunt made these cookies for everyone, and my mom and I like went to her house to pick them up or whatever, and I was like, sweet, like I get a gingerbread cookie. And I took a big old bite of the thing.
Ew.
And I was like, this, like, what is wrong with this cookie? Like, yeah. And my mom was like, no, spit that out. Like, it's not real. And I was like, well, it looks like a cookie. It smells like a cookie. It must be a gingerbread cookie. So, yeah, that was one of my fun memories growing up. Yeah.
All right, and then my last story that I want to share, there was one Christmas in particular, and this really kind of what this video is about, is really spending time with your family over the holidays. My grandpa was getting heart surgery. This was a long time ago, but he was getting heart surgery, so he was actually going to be in the hospital over Christmas. Well, at my grandma's house, we always go for Christmas Eve, and we always have this huge thing where we like open presents and do all of this stuff, and it's always been a huge deal with our family, and he wasn't going to be there, and it was very like, it was really hard. And so I remember that year for Christmas, we all got him like a laptop so he could like watch his movies and stuff, but I remember we videoed that whole Christmas, and so that we could give him the video so he could watch it. We may have videoed, or we may have like done like Skype or something like that, but I think we may have Skyped actually, now that I think about it. But I just remember, because that was honestly like one of the biggest Christmases ever.
Yeah, you guys like all got TVs and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. My grandma's love language is gifts, and sometimes she goes a little crazy, which is fine, and I love her for it. But like seriously, that year, like it was like, you get a TV and you get a portable DVD player and I'm like, Grandma, where did all this stuff come from?
When portable DVD players were still a thing.
Yeah, it was so crazy. But I remember like that Christmas was just so memorable, because it really kind of made us think about like, hey, this is about family. This is about spending time with family. And when a loved one isn't able to like be there and be a part of it, like it's a very surreal feeling, and it makes you learn to not take these things for granted.
Well, yeah, like all my grandparents are all gone, and so I've kind of adopted Kayla's grandparents as mine, and so yeah, I mean, you do really just learn to cherish those memories with family. So
yeah, awesome. Well, that is kind of where we're gonna leave off with our stories today.
What are some fun memories that you guys have with your family over the holidays? We would love to know any funny stories that you can remember growing up or anything like that.
Yeah, leave those down in the comments below. We always love to hear your guys' stories too. Like, it lets us kind of feel like we're a part of your family and you're a part of ours. Yeah. So please do share those with us. But before we end this video, guess what time it is?
It's time for some socks.
Socks.
Fearless by nature.
Wow.
These are like so deep.
I love them.
All right.
Hold on. Okay, 1, 2, and 3.
That was a good pop.
Yeah. These have Anna and Elsa. Those are fun.
What's going on with Anna's eyes? Her eyes are so big. Why are her eyes so big?
I don't know. They're fun though.
They're gonna get even bigger when you put them on your feet.
You're not wrong. I love doing these socks. They're
so
very
fun.
Entertaining. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this very fun and sentimental Vlogmas episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. And like we said before, comment down your favorite Christmas family memories. We always love to hear that. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of our other fun videos that we're doing this month. And that is what we have for you guys today. We'll see you next time.